Yo, what's going on, guys? Bobby here, and today we're back with the tier list. It's been a while. We're going to be doing a hypercharge tier list for you guys today. So what we're going to be doing is just ranking the hypercharges. There's two different things that I think about when I'm ranking hypercharges. One, just how good they are. So like Kenji's, for example, Kenji's is the best hypercharge in the game. So that's one of the factors. And number two, how much better the hypercharge actually makes the brawler. Like if you have the hypercharge, is the brawler A tier? If you don't have it, is the brawler D tier? Just kind of how much it affects the actual brawler itself is the second thing that I'm going to be looking at. So we have our tiers S through F. Let's not waste any time and get right into it. So first off, we have Dyna. Dyna, we're going to put right into the A tier. Probably the best or second or third, probably the top two thrower hypercharge. I mean, if you get Dyna's hyper and you hit someone with it, it's absolutely insane. Even if you miss, usually non-skilled players can't really juke that little dynamite shots that come out on the outside in like a circle. So you at least charge like half of it back. But yeah, Dyna's hypercharge is insane, tons of damage, and definitely helps Dyna out quite a lot. You can even get it twice a game. Next up, Frank, very similar. We're going to be putting Frank's hypercharge into the A tier. It is easily one of the best in the game, and another hyper that you do get about twice per game. Now, the one bad part about Frank's hyper is you do open up the map. So if you're playing versus anti-tanks like B or Griff or Finks, for example, and you're playing Frank, you have to be very careful about where you use your hyper so you don't completely open up the map. But stat buffs are so useful on tanks. Obviously, Frank has the most HP in the game, so you get more of a health buff, speed buff, damage buff. Like, Frank is going to go absolutely crazy. It is dodgeable, but again, non-pro players basically can't dodge the Frank hyper. So again, A tier for me. Next up, we have BB's hypercharge, and I'm going to put BB into the D tier, although she could easily be F tier with the hypercharge. I'm going to maybe touch it up when I'm finished, once I compare the different brawlers in different tiers. But yeah, BB's hypercharge is pretty bad, especially since Heist is her most used game mode, and you can't even bounce the bubble correctly on Heist, if you guys know what I mean. Like, for example, when you play Pit Stop, you want the bubble to go up and down, so you're doing like 15 or 20% damage, but you can't do that with the hyper bubble. It has to be a very specific angle. So it's basically only good for the stat buff, but even then, it's not that great. Now, you can definitely make some really cool plays. I'm 100% sure about that. I've seen it. I mean, it's a hypercharge. You can make crazy plays with all these hypercharges, but it is going to be D tier for me. All right, next up, we got Bull. Bull is going to be D tier as well. Now, yeah, you are basically immune when you use the hypercharge, but the thing with the Bull dash without the hypercharge is that you can't be like pulled or supered out of it. Like, you're already kind of stuck in that dash. So the only really good part about this hyper, obviously apart from the stat buffs, is the fact that you just take 0 damage when you're in your super, which is really good, don't get me wrong, but it's not good enough to compare to the other hypercharges like what Frank or Dyna does, for example, already. So Bulls isn't very good. Let's move on to Spike. Spike is going to be our first F tier hypercharge. Yes, you guys heard me right, F tier. Like, there are so many cool hypercharges. Like, I'm going to use Kenji a lot in this video. Kenji's, for example, where it's like a Tara pull mixed with like a teleporting super mixed with a Kenji super, where Spike's is just a bigger circle. So you know what I mean? Like, it's just not very good. Obviously, it does have its pros, and if you get someone in the very middle of the Spike super, they're basically cooked. But yeah, it's just not very good. I'm going to skip the list here and just get Kenji's out of the way. Kenji's is S tier. Kenji's hyper is probably the best hyper that we have seen in the game outside of Fang's hyper when it originally came out. But yeah, this is just S tier. I don't need to tell you guys why. I've made an entire video on it. Okay, I'm glad we got that out of the way. Next up, we have Cordelius. I'm calling him by his full government name instead of Cord. I don't know why. Cord, I'm going to put in the C because it's a free kill. So there's like, that's pretty cool. You know, as long as you super the right person, it is a free kill. And the stat buff is pretty cool with Cord. But again, it just doesn't do anything extraordinary, which is kind of what we're looking for with these hypercharges. So we're going to put him in the C tier. It's just kind of average. Next up, we have Charlie. And again, Charlie's going to be put into the C tier. Oh, I messed that up. Okay, there. Charlie is going to be put... Dude, come on, Charlie. Come on, dude. Charlie. There we go. Into the C tier. Pretty good hyper. Still below average in my books. Like, the thing that's good with Charlie is, let's say you're facing BB and Bull, for example. We'll just take those two brawlers. And if you put BB into the cocoon, you're going to have 3 spiders shooting Bull. That's going to take 3 ammo to get rid of. So basically, as long as you can put the right person in the cocoon and have their teammates be single fire brawlers outside of the cocoon, it's going to be a lot of value because they have to shoot the spiders, so they're going to run out of ammo. And if there's one brawler in a cocoon and one brawler out of ammo, then it's basically GG. And then on top of that, you can put more spiders for your gadget. So it's just kind of insane. Like, there is some good parts about Charlie for sure, but again, it's not like this crazy thing. So C tier for me. Next up, we have Jean's Hyper, and honestly, again, pretty weird hyper. I'm going to put it into the D tier. Now, yes, it does pull 3 hands. So in something like Knockout, I'm going to compare this to the Mandy Hyper, where a Mandy Hyper can kind of end a game in like round 3 or 2 of Knockout. You can somewhat do the same with Jean. The only issue is you pull people in really fast, which is not good. Like, the time that it takes to pull a normal pull is like probably 3 times or 2 times or somewhere in between that for the hyper pull. And this doesn't give you a lot of time to kill your enemy. So if you're pulling in like 3 people or 2 people, it could just completely backfire on you and you just lose the entire game because of that. So it's going to be D tier for me because it doesn't provide any value outside of the pulls. And yeah, it's just kind of a weird one. Even though it is cool and it can lead to some good plays, it's going to be D tier for me. Next up, we got Rico, and Rico is definitely the top of the A tier for hypercharges. Can it please go? Please, dude, what is wrong with my mouse today? Yeah, but Rico's, it could be like a pretty easy team wipe. It kind of reminds me of Dyna, where a lot can go right. Like, if you hit that team wipe, like if you hit that super properly, and you don't even have to like hit a full clip because it can hit some wall and come back. Like, as long as you're hitting a majority of your Rico shots, the other ones are probably going to bounce onto someone, and you can chain really easily and team wipe really easily. So you guys can see these top hypers, like, they just have a lot more pop-off potential than these bottom hypers. So that's why I have them up here. Next up, we have Bells, and Bell I'm going to put into the D tier. It's actually pretty good. Like, it's not horrible. I definitely think it's better than these ones. You know what? So I'm going to put it in the C tier, actually. Because the mark, I mean, yeah, it's just a curved mark, but it's basically impossible to curve. Like, you have to try to miss this mark, if that makes sense. Like, you really have to try and miss this mark. So having someone marked basically totally ruins their life. And then obviously having that stat buff is really helpful. So it's not anything that you're going to pop off with, but it's pretty solid. So I'm going to put it in here with the other pretty solid brawlers. Then we have Primo. Primo, I'm going to put into the F tier as well. Primo's is good for like the stat buff. And you can also kind of chain supers pretty easily, but you can already do that with a Primo super, so it's not anything crazy. It's just kind of similar to Spikes, where it's like just a better Primo super, bigger Spike super. Like, it's just kind of the same thing. And honestly, I don't even hate it when I knock people out with a normal super, because I think it gives me more time to actually hit them when they're in the air. So I think it's just good for the stat buffs. It definitely does help the brawler, don't get me wrong. But I don't think it's that great. Then we have Leon's. Leon's is going to be my first B tier. I mean, just being able to shoot while invis is pretty crazy, but it's not like a normal invis. It's like you are completely invisible. So even when the shots come out when you're in your hyper, you like can't really tell where they're coming from. So Leon's is very good. I just don't think Leon is very meta right now. So because of that, maybe he falls off a little bit with the hyper. I mean, he could definitely be an A tier hyper because you could honestly team wipe with it, but I think B tier is pretty fair. I think it's very solid, and it does honestly help Leon out a lot, so it's a really good hyper to get. Next up, Crow, and Crow's going to be pretty similar. It's going to be B tier. Obviously, the hyper is insane on a high safe. That's like the best way to use it is on a high safe. Before, you were able to do like 40 or 50%. That got nerfed. Now the most you could really do is like 25, or if you have really good math and like really good situations, you can do like 30% technically. But, I mean, it definitely got a nerf with the Heist nerf, and then as well as the fact that you can't really team wipe with it in a normal game. I mean, you can technically, but not anything crazy like those other brawlers. So B tier is pretty fair for it, I think. Next up, we have Fang's Hyper, and Fang's Hyper is going to be in the C tier. Like, the fact that you can go through walls is pretty crazy. And again, this used to be an S tier hyper, but it takes a very long time to charge. And it's like a little bit buggy with the going through walls these days. Like, it's a little bit weird. So you could definitely team wipe with it. It does have that potential. So it's more on par with the team wipe potential of A tier and B tier brawlers. It's just the fact that it's not as solid as these that I'm going to have it in the C tier. And it's honestly not that consistent. So, you know, there are a lot of Fang fanboys, and I'm sure they're going to disagree with this ranking, but I'm honestly pretty happy with Fang in the C tier. And then we have Pearl. Pearl's is probably going to be the worst one we have. Like, I swear Pearl's is like more aesthetic than it is. Like, it looks cooler than what it actually does. I basically only use Pearl's hyper for the stat buff. I'm pretty sure that's like the only way you could use it because it like literally does nothing. Like seriously, like it definitely needs a rework because it basically does nothing, and I'm not going to waste too much time talking about the Pearl hyper. Next up, we have Tara's, and Tara's is going to be A tier. I might move a couple of these A tier up to the S tier at the end of the list. I guess I'm just holding things on a very high pedestal with Kenji up there. But yeah, Tara's is like a really big Tara super, which is just absolutely insane. It's really easy to hit, and you don't even really need to be in the middle of the circle for it to affect you. And it's honestly pretty easy to get a Tara hyper. So I don't know. I'm a pretty big fan, and it's definitely going to be A tier for me. Next up, Nani. Nani's is going to be C tier as well. Again, just like these ones, it's really solid. There's no really negative parts to a Nani hyper, to be honest. It does more damage. You have a bigger head, and it's just easier to hit. So it's kind of like a guaranteed kill if you're playing Nani on the right maps, and I don't really have too much more to say about that. Then next up, we have Colts. Originally, I thought Colts was going to be really, really cool. Now, it kind of just seems like extra damage or a slightly bigger super. So I'm going to put him into the D tier, at the top of the D tier, because you can do a lot of damage and you can hit that full clip pretty easily. But I don't know. I'm just not really the biggest fan of Colts hyper. I do think all the ones on the C tier are better. So I think D is a pretty fair ranking. Then we have Jesse's hyper, and honestly, Jesse's hyper is really good. Like, it takes a lot to take Jesse's hyper out. And as long as you're not facing a thrower or like a squeak or something, it's basically like impossible to take it out without charging at least another super. So I'm going to put this at the top of the C tier. It just doesn't have that like team wipe potential, but it's very good in Heist, and it's very good in gem grab or hot zone for controls. So I'm a pretty big fan of the Jesse in the C tier. Then next up, we have Barley. Barley's easy A tier, like easy A tier. It's up there with Barry and Dinah for the best hypers in the game. Barley might honestly be in the S tier once this list is all said and done, but A tier for me. I'm really happy with that place. It covers like the entire map basically of where the battle is going on, and you're like guaranteed to get one in hot zone. And if you do get one, there's just nothing the other team can do. Like, they have to push back because you cover like the entire map. Like, they just have no option. You have to push back. So A tier 100%. I love the Barley hyper, and if you're honestly a fan of throwers, I would definitely get Barley's hyper. Next up, we have Angelo, and Angelo is kind of like along the line of these C tier hypers when it comes to the fact that you can't really team wipe, but it's just so solid. The fact that the super follows you around, the fact that it's extra damage, extra poison damage, it's heals, it's just like everything all in one. So I'm gonna have to put it in the B tier. It just fits Angelo so well that there's really no option to put it anywhere else. Like, it's definitely not a C tier. It's better than all of these, but it doesn't have that like pop off team wipe potential as the A tier brawlers. So I'm just gonna have to keep it in the B tier, but that's honestly the perfect spot. And then next up, we have Lou. Now, Lou itself as a brawler isn't necessarily crazy, but Lou's hyper is one of the best in the game, and we're definitely gonna put Lou's hyper in the S tier. Now, this is one that I would 100% get. When it comes to making a brawler better, there are not many hypers that make a brawler better like Lou's does. It's like a guaranteed kill 100%, and if you can hit 8 snowballs, you can chain it really easily. So the order is you click the hyper button, then you auto aim a tank close to you, preferably they're full HP. You run up to them, auto aim, you hit 8 snowballs, you kill them, and then you auto aim your super as long as the hyper hasn't ran out yet on the next nearest opponent, and you can chain 2 kills really easily. I'm a big fan of this hyper, and there's like literally zero outplay to it. Then next up, we have Buzz, and Buzz's as well, we're going to put in the A tier. Just something about the fact that there could be like 10 seconds left in a gem grab game, and you can just have a hyper and make your way up the map in 5 seconds and just kill someone is absolutely unreal. Also, the fact that you can do this and gain a stun Buzz super with a regular gadget, it doesn't have to be an actual super, is just absolutely unreal. This is probably the coolest hyper in the game. I want to put it S tier, but it's definitely not. So I'm going to put it A tier, but yeah, this is just an insane one, and I loved this. This is probably my favorite hyper in the game. Next up, we have Colette, and Colette is a really big damage dealer, and I would definitely have her on the B or A tier, but just the fact that obviously the Heist stuff did get nerfed, I'm just going to put her into the B tier. Again, Heist does affect this a lot. Same with Crow. Like, if this wasn't a new Hypercharge list, I would have both Crow and Colette in the A tier, but you know, they kind of serve the same purpose. They're best for Heist, and that got a nerf, so B tier for me. Next up, we have Max's Hyper, and again, this is going to be an A tier Hypercharge. Just the fact that you can also charge your teammates Hypercharge with your own is absolutely unreal. And if you all stack right on top of each other, you get it a lot faster. So, I mean, that's just absolutely unreal. Very, very good hyper. Probably the best support brawler hyper in the game, up there with Barry. We have to get to Barry a little bit later. But yeah, definitely A tier for me. Next up, we have Jackie's Hyper, and Jackie's Hyper is pretty good. I'm going to put it in the C tier, and here's why. Speed with Jackie is very useful. So the hyper gives you speed, and then it also slows the other team when you use your super. So I'm just a really big fan of that. I think that's really good, and I don't know, it makes the brawler a lot better. So definite C tier for me. Next up, we have Brock. Brock is going to go in the D tier with the hyper. I mean, it's more of a stat buff than anything. You don't even do more damage to the high safe when you use the actual hypercharge. You have to super first and then use hyper for stats if you want to use more damage. It's more so just so you can like make sure you hit a bunch of rockets, which these rockets do less damage, mind you, but it's just kind of to make sure you hit the rockets. It's impossible to miss if you get them in like the Brock super radius. So I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of it. It's going to be D tier for me. Next up, we have Miko's. And again, I'm not really a big fan. I'm going to put Miko's in the bottom of the D tier. Like, I get it. You stun whoever you hit. But if you're using a Miko super, whoever you land on, they're dead anyway. So like, what does it really matter if they're stunned, right? So yeah, I'm not really a big fan of that one. Don't love it. Next up, we have Mortis's. Mortis's is S tier. Oh, wait, I grabbed Colt. Where did I put Colt? I think I put Colt D tier. All right, Mortis. Mortis is S tier for sure. I mean, like, it's just unreal. Like, you can chain so easily. You can team wipe so easily. It heals yourself. If you hit 2 people with your bats back and forth, you chain it, and it's honestly like a guaranteed team wipe almost. If you're good at Mortis, anyone would tell you it's like at least 2 kills no matter what. So if there's any brawler that has a button that gets at least 2 kills no matter what, you have to just put that hyper in the S tier. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Next up, we got Nita's hyper. I'm going to put in the C tier, but it's a little bit strange. I'm putting Nita's hyper in the C tier because both the gadgets work so well with the bear and the star powers work so well with the bear that it just, everything feeds into that one hyper bear so perfectly. It seems like Nita's whole kit was designed to make the bear better, which is good. That's a really well-made brawler. And then that hyper bear with all the stat buffs. I mean, come on. Like, if Nita was better, I'd probably put this hyper in the B tier, but C tier is where it's going to be for now. Next up, Piper. Piper's hyper is bad. Coming from a Piper main, it's going to be D tier. I mainly use it for stat buffs rather than like jumping into people, because like, why would you really want to jump into people as a Piper? It's very niche, which basically just means there's not many situations that it's good. So yeah, D tier for me. Next up, we have Gale's hyper, and Gale's hyper is very good. Gale has an A tier hyper, and when Gale is meta, it's probably going to go up to the S tier. Very similar to Lou, where it's like a guaranteed team wipe in a way, or not team wipe, but like a guaranteed kill at the very least. And it could be a team wipe really easily. So if they just change 1 or 2 things about Gale, I could see it being S tier, but it's going to be A tier for me. And again, it's one of those hypers where Gale is like a C tier brawler, but the hyper is A tier. So if the hyper is A tier, but the brawler is C tier, kind of imagine how bad Gale is in the meta without the hyper. Next up, we have Ems, and Ems's is also pretty good. I'm going to put Ems's in the B tier because knockback is really useful with Ems, and it's kind of like a free knockback / a free super. So I'm just a pretty big fan of what we got going on with the Ems super, to be honest. I mean, the Ems hyper, sorry. And 100% B tier. I think it fits perfectly online with the rest of these B tier hypers. Then we have Tick, and Tick's is also going to be B tier. I mean, the explosive radius, basically just the fact that you can't walk where that Tick head is very important. And then the fact that it moves fast is very important. It's really good end game and knockout, or at like clutch time and bounty. And it definitely is by far the best part about Tick. So it's going to be B tier for sure. Next up, Sandy. I feel like Sandy's like completely weirdly out of meta. Like, Sandy is like a D tier brawler right now, to be honest. Which, you guys know I love the Sandy meta because I got Sands on my team. But yeah, I think Sandy is D tier. But the hyper is at least A tier. Like, the hyper, the fact that you get a speed buff in an invis circle is just absolutely unreal. If you use the damage star power, you can also see where your opponents are in the bush, which is very useful. And if you use heal, it's speed, invis, and heal. So it's like, you know, like, you're going to get something crazy with this hyper. It's a very good hyper, and it's always going to be at the very minimum A tier. Next up, we got Macy's. Macy's, I'm going to put in the B tier. It's one of those where you get pretty fast, and it could be a pretty easy team wipe. So there's not really too much argument for it to be lower than B tier, but I can't put it higher than B tier because it's not as consistent as these ones. Like, these are guaranteed kills or guaranteed wipes. Like Macy's, you could miss if you're just bad. Like these, it doesn't really feel that way. So B tier for Macy's hyper. Next up, we got Poco's hyper. Again, B tier, really good support hyper. It just gives your team, like, what is it, 4,000 extra shield. Like if your teammates have max HP, that's when you want to use it. Because if not, it's kind of just like a regular Poco heal, but then you give them that 4,000 shield on top of their max HP, and it's like, just wow, like you're giving them a lot of health, plus the stat buffs. So yeah, probably B tier, but lower end of B tier. You know what, actually, I'm going to put it down to top of C tier. Then we have Edgar's, and Edgar's is actually pretty good. I can't hate. Edgar's hyper is going to be bottom of B tier. Again, it's not like a crazy thing that's gonna beat bad matchups, because if you're jumping into a Shelly, you know, you're still gonna lose, but you can like chain jumps really easily, and that's pretty broken in and of itself. So definitely B tier for Edgar. Next up, we have Shelly, and Shelly's is gonna be D tier because it's just not anything crazy. It's just a better Shelly super. Kind of reminds me of a bigger Spike super, so you know, nothing too crazy. Gonna stay in the D tier. Wait, I did Surge thinking it was Primo. Okay, so I'm gonna move Primo in the F tier because I did I can't believe I thought Surge was Primo. Am I blind? Okay, I don't know. I guess I'm just an unk now. You know, I'm getting old. Next up, we have Surge's hyper, and Surge's hyper is really good. We're gonna put Surge's hyper at the top of B tier because again, it's not like a team wipe type thing, but the level 4 hyper, you can't miss the shots. Like when you miss the shots, you hit them. So it's really nice if someone just has like 2,000 HP or 3,000 or 4,000 HP and they're trying to heal up. You just pop that hyper, you spray them a couple times, they die. You can't miss the shots because it goes around walls and stuff. If you miss, it hits. And then you could also use your remaining shots on just whoever else. But it's just really good. It's really solid. It reminds me of Angelo, where it's just really good for the kit and it matches Surge perfectly. So yeah, B tier for me. Next up, we have Squeak. Squeaks is also going to be B tier because it's not like team wipe potential, but you can hit 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 of the super shots really easily. Not normally on the same target though, to be honest. So definitely B tier for me. Good spot for the Squeak hyper. Then we have Sprouts. Sprouts is going in the F tier. Not a good hyper at all. All of these hypers need reworks. They're just like kind of aesthetic. Primo's is definitely better than the other two, but yeah, I'm just not a fan of Sprout hyper at all. Then we have Rosa. I actually really like Rosa's hyper. Rosa's hyper is going to go into the B tier for me. I don't know. I'm just a big fan. You get a slow, you get speed buff, you get shield. Like, there's just a lot to like about Rosa's hyper. Now, Rosa the brawler isn't very good, but when when Rosa does become a little bit more meta, then you guys are going to see just how good this hypercharge is, because I actually think even putting it at B is pretty underrated. Then we have Daryl's hyper. Daryl's hyper is also just aesthetic. It's basically just the stat buffs. It's not as bad as these other ones, so I'm going to put it at the top with the Primo. But, it's just not that useful. It's just, it gives you more shield, and it gives you more damage, and it gives you more speed with the stat buffs. And that is all far more important than what the actual hypercharge gives you. And when that's going to be the case, like it is for most of these brawlers all of these brawlers in the F tier and most of these in the D tier, then, it's going to be one of these two. Next, we got 8-bits, and 8-bits also isn't anything too crazy. It's just kind of like something that defends the turret when it's up. So I'm going to put it at the bottom of C tier because I do feel like it's a little bit better than these D tier hypers, and the fact that it has more HP is also pretty good, but it's just not that great. It's definitely like a bottom C, top D tier type of hyper. Next, we got Stu's. Stu's going to be A tier. It's not like a team wipe one, but it's just like one of the most solid hypers in the game that doesn't necessarily lead to a team wipe. Something like Buzz or like Sandy. It's like Max, like along those lines. It's just one of the best hypers in the game. So it's going to be top of our A tier. If you use Gasso heal, it's basically impossible to die. You just dash around the map. You try and end up on like a Dyna or a thrower or someone that just can't kill you, and you kill them, and then you just move on. It's just insane. You can cover the entire map. So next up, we have Ruffs. Ruffs is going to be D tier. I mean, it's situational. Like, if you are playing Heist and the Heist safe had 100% and you have a Crow on your team and the Crow jumped in and did 40% in the last update, and then you gave him another one, you let him do another 40%, then that's really good. But that's, again, very niche, not really the greatest, like, most well-rounded hyper. So yeah, D tier for sure. Next up, we got Otis's. Again, same thing with Otis. There's honestly a lot of not so great hypers in the game. Otis is going to be one of them. The stun isn't really that useful because if you're muting somebody, like, imagine you popped a hyper and you had the stat buffs with Otis, the extra speed, the extra health, and the extra damage, and you muted somebody. You would kill them no matter what. You would just run in their face with the stat buffs you have, auto-aim them, kill them, and that's it. So does the stun really actually do anything? No, it's more just like the stat buffs that are good. So D tier, probably bottom of D tier for Otis for me. Next up, Penny. I actually like Penny's. I think Penny's is really good for her kit, but nothing too crazy. So I'm going to put Penny at the top of C tier. Then we have Ashe. Again, Ashe's is very unique to Ashe's kit, but the reason I like Ashe's more than like Penny's, for example, is because with Ashe, the speed is so helpful. Like, the rage with Ashe carries Ashe. Like, if you guys play Ashe, you guys know when you have full rage, you're obviously a lot better than when you don't have the rage. And that's because of damage and because of speed. And Hyper gives you more damage and speed, just like base. So how a lot of people use Ashe's Hyper is when you're one shot away from getting your Rat Super, you kind of click that Hyper button to gain those stat buffs, so you can go and get that last hit really easily, and then you throw the rats, and the rest is history. So perfect for the Brawler. B tier for me, 100%. Next up, we have Barry's Hyper, and I'm going to put Barry's Hyper at the top of S tier. If you guys watch Lukey play at Brawl Cup, you guys would see exactly why. Like, it's just so unreal. Like, the stat buff, the value that you easily get 2 Barry Hypers a game. You could even get 3, but you easily get 2. Just the stat buffs that you get, everything that you get from a Barry Hyper is so absolutely unreal. And you can chain it really easily. When this Hyper first came out, I wasn't very high on it, but now I think it's very, very good and so insane. Next up, I think we have Melody. Melody's is pretty good. I'm going to put it bottom of B tier with Edgar, because it's not like you can get a team wipe with Melody's Hyper, but you can also get a team wipe just regularly with Melody. It's just the speed buff and the stat buff that's really good. And the extra notes were good on Heist, but again, like, there's that big Heist nerf. So a lot of these Heist brawlers like Colette, Crow, and Melody now, they're going to get a little bit of unfair ranking because, you know, it's like a new game mode. It's a new mode. And if it didn't exist, I would put Melody A tier, but it does. So Melody's going to go in the B tier for me. Next up, we got Janet. Janet's is really good. Top of B tier. If you're good at aiming it, it's like a locked kill for sure. If you're not good at aiming it, it's not the best, but there's a lot of clutch plays that you can make from it, and you can kind of chain supers or land being one shot off your super and then go up and fly again. So in like gem grab, for example, you can use the Hyper, go on someone's forehead, kill them, land, hit one more shot, and then fly away with all the gems. Like, it's just unreal. So B tier for Janet. Next up, we have Graze. Graze is also going to be B tier, but bottom of B tier. It seems like we're getting a lot of B tiers as of late. It's just really solid, and you can connect the 2 portals. Like, unlike the Mr. P Hyper, for example, you can't have 2 Mr. P portals, but you can have 2 portals. So you can connect those portals, and on Hot Zone, it's really strong. The fact that it gives you that extra shield as well every time you use it is very good. So yeah, I really do like this Gray Hyper. Eve Hyper, again, top of B tier. It's just really annoying, and just like Angelo or Janet or Leon or Ashe, it's just really perfect for how Eve is played. And like, these Hypers at the bottom, like Spiked, it's like just it's, I don't know, we can't have some Hypers that are like bigger Spike Circle, then have some Hypers that are like 10 hatchlings or 9 hatchlings instead of 3 or 4. Like, it's just absolutely unreal. But yeah, Eve's is also very good. Next up, we have Bees. Bees is going to be bottom of A tier because you can easily hit 1 or 2 people. And if you hit 1 or 2 people with your Hyper, all you got to do is click auto aim with B, and you're just going to melt everybody. Like, it's really, really good. Like, very, very, very good. Guaranteed kill. And B already is like an A or S tier brawler. So it's not like it's the craziest Hyper in the world. It's like these other ones in the A tier, but it's definitely better than these B tier Hypers because it's like a guaranteed 100% kill, and you basically can't miss it if it's an open map. So A tier for sure. Next up, Sam. Now, Sam, the Hyper charging got a lot worse, but the Hyper is still the same. It's still going to be an S tier Hyper. If you do get it, it should be a locked 2 kills 100%. you literally just spam your super button if you're close to somebody, and you throw your gloves, get it back, throw your gloves, get it back, throw your gloves, get it back. It's just absolutely sickening, and it's still one of the best hypers in the game, 100%. Next up, Mr. P's hyper. Now, Mr. P's hyper used to be S tier. Now it's going to be top of C tier. It did definitely fall off because they just reduced the Penguin's HP. It just used to be so annoying to the point where you had to eliminate it. Like, the only way you can win the game is if you go up and eliminate the Mr. P porter. But now it seems like you can kind of just ignore the Penguins and they're going to go away eventually. So that is obviously going to change everything for the hyper. C tier, I think, is a fair spot. Next up, we have Meg. Meg's whack is actually really good. I'm going to put it bottom of B tier. It's just like a really big whack, and you can hit a lot of people with it. So, I mean, it's pretty fairly rated in the B tier, I think. You're also pretty guaranteed to get at least 2 a game, which is really, really important for me, how often you can actually charge these hypers. So, yeah, B tier is fair. Next up, Carl. Carl's is okay. I'm going to put Carl's in the top of the C tier. I think it's better for the stat buffs than the actual super. It kind of just leaves a trail of fire. So whoever you hit, you can kind of just leave them. Or if you hit a heist safe, you know, you can leave the heist safe and it's still going to do damage. You know what? Honestly, I'm going to put it down to the D tier. I don't think it's that good. It's just fire at the end of the day. It's just the stat buffs that are good. Like, a lot of these brawlers, I think their hypers are good because of the stat buffs, but the actual super itself isn't good, and Carl's is one of them. So I'm going to put it in the D tier. Next up, Grom. Grom's hyper is going to go in the bottom of A tier for me. It's just so good in Bounty and Knockout. It can't be ignored, to be honest. If you save it for endgame and you don't completely waste it, it should be like a guaranteed round win unless there's like a Daryl rolling on your chin. But yeah, it's really good. It's basically undodgeable, and as long as you don't waste it, it should be a free round win. Now we have Hanks. Hanks used to be a free S tier. Every single time you got the hyper, it was like a team wipe in overtime of Brawl Ball. It was unreal. Now it's more of just like a stat buff thing. I'm going to put it in the C tier because it doesn't really hit anyone anymore. But the stat buffs, you can't really ignore it. Like the, you know, stat buff fish hyper shot, I think hits for like 4,600 or 4,800, which is a lot of health. Mix that in with the fact that you get extra speed, so it's really easy to hit people. And yeah, it's got to be at least C tier, even though the super itself isn't so good anymore. Next up, we got Lola. Lola's does a lot of damage, but again, it's not crazy good. It's just pretty similar to the normal clone, so it's going to be C tier, but I don't think it's as bad as these D tier hypers. Next up, Mandy. We all know Mandy's hyper is going to go into the S tier. Like, you can just end a knockout game or a bounty game in 3 seconds with Mandy. Like, it's just absolutely unreal. The hyper is insane. You could chain it super easily, and it's like anyone can team wipe at any time, and you don't even need to have the people on the map. So well, on your screen. They obviously got to be on the map. So yeah, obviously that's going to be S tier. Then we have Buster. Buster's is going to be bottom of C tier. Again, just like Hank, the stat buffs are crazy. Like, Buster is one of those brawlers where you need to play as a team, but if you have that hypercharge popped, then you can kind of do things solo. Then you can also add to that the fact that you could charge it just by standing in your teammate's circle, so you're guaranteed to get like 2 a game at least. So I'm a big fan of the Buster hyper 100%, but I got to be fair, it's definitely C tier. Then we have Chester's hyper. Chester's hyper is S tier. Thank God they nerfed the actual charge for the Chester hyper, because people were getting 2 a game, and you literally just got to click auto aim with the super. Like, there is no dodging the Chester hyper. The only person I've ever really seen miss a Chester hyper is Sans. I don't know what it is, but bro just loves missing the Chester hypers. But yeah, it's definitely S tier. If you hit 1 Chester hyper and then also hit a couple shots, you get that second one really easily. So yeah, I don't know. It's like, it's a guaranteed kill, and it could be a team wipe really easily. So I'm a big fan of the Chester hyper. Next up, we have Bo. Bo's hyper is going to be B tier. You know, you can just have, what is it, 8 mines on the map at the same time with the normal mines. And that's just a lot of area denial. It's really good in hot zone. And I don't know, 5 mines is pretty difficult to deal with. So B tier, I think, is fair. Next up, we have Willow's. Willow's top of S tier. It just makes her super better, which, I mean, all of these technically just make the super better, but it just makes you immune. That's really it. I mean, that is a big outplay when Willow does have super to kill the Willow when she's in super. So the fact that she's immune is obviously really good, but again, it's very situational. So it's going to be C tier for me. Next up, we have Griff's. Griff's is going to be the top of the A tier. Griff's is unreal, to be honest. Like, Griff's is crazy crazy, crazy good. It's probably the best hyper that isn't in the S tier. Like, it shoots through walls. It does a ton of damage. It chains really easily. So yeah, I don't know. A tier for me. Griff is now being first or second picked in competitive in a lot of hot zone maps because of the hyper. So you can't ignore the fact that how good this actually is. Next up, we have Gus. Gus's hyper is pretty good. I'll put it at the bottom of B tier. It's just solid. It's nothing crazy, and it's nothing that's going to team wipe. It just fits his kit really perfectly, and it makes everyone around the Gus shield, I guess not the actual Gus, but the Gus shield, lower HP, because it's kind of like that curved spike shot. It's like not going to miss. And if you pop it like inside someone or near someone, it's basically a guaranteed kill. So, I mean, it's pretty good for the kit, but nothing too crazy. Next up, Amber's. Amber's is pretty insane. It's going to be A tier for me. The puddle is just ginormous, so you can like really easily hit 2 or 3 people, and it's doing 4-ish thousand damage. It could be 4.5 thousand, somewhere around that range. So just everyone gets weak, and they got to go back and heal, because if you move forward while getting Amber hypered, you're just going to die, because you got to be hit by like one more brawler, and then it's just over for you. So yeah, easy A tier for the Amber hyper. Next up, we have K's. I'm not going to rank it because I haven't played K's yet. I did not spend $50 on the new brawler, chat. That's a little bit much for me. I don't know. It's a little bit much. I'm going to wait for this brawler to come out. Next up, we have Lily's hyper. Lily's hyper is going to be top of A tier. Only thing I don't like about Lily's hyper is a lot of these other hypers, when you actually hit the hyper, you get your supercharge back, or it can maybe like chain hypers. But with Lily's, you take someone to like the chord dimension, so you don't get any supercharge back. So you can't like chain it, if that makes sense. You're just good for 1 kill basically. And then finally, we have the Crab. Shout out Mr. Gamus. Crab's hyper is going to go in the C tier. Again, it's very situational. It's basically just like if you're facing tanks, it's really good. If you're not facing tanks, it's not good. So definitely in the right spot. So this is going to be my final list. I'm honestly pretty happy with everything, so I'm not going to change anything. I think I actually ranked things pretty well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys did, as always, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. But until another day, that's going to be it for me, and I'll catch you guys again later. Peace out.